Chuck.
What's the status, 3?
I'm good, just making the world a better place, that's all.
My mother always raised me to operate on respect. I learned to stay calm, people's ignorance I deflect. It's okay to be wrong, I'm not always correct. I have to obtain patience, my balance is key. It's very important to balance out my chi. God and Satan, good and evil, reside in me. When it comes to the Bible, they speak allegorically. God is the energetic source, and you are the temple. For the soul to experience the physical, your flesh is the rental. As I look within and speak to my higher self, while people look outward for saviors and help. The throne of God is within your skull, under your scalp. The pineal gland is a crystallized beacon. Your voice ejects sound, your eyes project what you're seeking. Your spine emits electricity, same as a Tesla coil. We can use Earth's energies that we kill over oil. All those foreign entities that occupying our soil. The Committee of 300 to stabilize our country, keeping us in debt, slaving for valueless money. It's called freedom, cause if you think you're free, you a dummy. We need a revolution while we live in revelation. Monsanto sprays pesticides on crops and vegetation. Pay attention to the grips and symbolism of the Masons. Donald Trump's a dark magician who tricked the entire nation. While the police extort, harass, and collect, they say they protect and serve for the one world global net. The real terrorists broadcast on your TV set, convincing the masses that there is some outer threat. Falling for the okie doke, later you will regret. The all-seeing eye cameras never blink or miss a step. We live on a battleground between heaven and hell. Always watch what you speak, cause when you speak you cast spells. There was cymatic healing from the sound of bells. Look at the elite, they worship L's light. Warlocks and wishes, they gather at midnight. Warming up for 3 a.m. the blood ritualistic type. People are so lost, they vote for their oppressor. When people stand the ground, we're called the aggressor. I stick to my plan to accomplish my endeavor. It's to calm before the storm and then heads will sever. Fuck the government.
I'm the cook. I'm the cook.
The Bakushi is the master of illusion, and if everyone believes the illusion, it becomes reality. Bakushi thinks he's won the game, but he didn't count on the pinch hitter.
All is continuous vibration, always in motion. Conductor of energy, assault in the ocean. Serpent is the sine wave, polarities interwoven. A chemical sorcery, elixirs and potions. Resonant frequencies, molecular explosions. Your daily programs is heavy doses of hypnosis. People walk around blind even though their eyes are open. No time for ideological salesmen with biblical notions. That box in your room, televised lies through your vision. It does doesn't matter your race, status, or religion. The longer I have to beat you when your mind is locked in prison. That food is filled with toxins, it's why you can't think clear. Illusion of choice is your option while keeping all in fear. Load up all your weaponry, the revolution is here. I said load up all your weaponry, the revolution is here.
We ain't in the same place or occupy the same space. So get the fuck out my face.
In the instant, I changed the mission with photosynthesis. Witness the synthesis, rip it in this on instruments. Feel the frequency, energy off this Hennessy synergy. Literally, those that take us to infinity. Reading articles, all is horrible, calling audibles. I'm remarkable, I shot a fed at a carnival. Dust and particles, follicles gon' be everywhere. Heavy pair of some pistols, I shot him holding that teddy bear. Fuck the system, let's keep it simple, let's raise the temple. Make them triple while you're going to where they all assemble. Not Avengers, I'm the Avenger, I seek the injure. Kept my temper till I stuck the hidden blade up in her. Fuck the ruler, here's what they doing to you. Poison water in the food is what you put into you. I'm the shooter with new maneuvers. Caught back your Ruger, super trooper. He is gonna need a pooper scooper. The revenge of Montezuma. Rocking my Pumas, uppercut like a Kuma, sending you straight to Luna. Cosmic verses from universes on new excursions. Emerging the virgin, I pull the back the iron curtain. War leaders are war eaters, born cheaters. War sneakers, rearrange their core features. Born reaper, hurricane, the sword keeper. Form ether, burn all of the mold geezers. Up in government, parliament, bitch, I'm tarnishing arguments. Ain't no bargaining, throw a bomb in the audience. I'm the guardian, strange you all in the cardigan. Rearrange the universe, I am the artisan.
We ain't in the same place or occupy the same space. So get the fuck out my face.
As a king, fighting the spirit of Mesa King, vibing to my queen, playing the tambourine, while I'm eating the tangerine. My plasma was replaced with gasoline, got the blood of the Elohim, manifesting through a dream, a shit you never seen. I got the eyes of Medusa, and the hands of Wolverines, astral project with my inner being. We locked in the inner ring, hoping the Anunnaki intervene. While the world is under siege, they got an abyss under the sea, living underneath. Lightning struck me standing under a tree while I was crumbling weed, and the angels swooped down, put me under her wing. Now she shields me from my desires the devil brings. Say my name in vain and you will never bleed. Say my name in vain and you will never bleed.
The Bakushi is the master of illusion. And if everyone believes the illusion, it becomes reality.
What's good, DL and Warren, Graham 9, Tommy, Hurricane. What's up, Groove? And what's good, everybody? Oh, shit. Man. You'd be surprised at how many flat cameras there are. You'd also be surprised on other things. Why didn't this get sent over? Telegram is a breeding ground for whores. Probably police acting like them too. I don't understand how these people get my anyway. I want to hook up yeah, all these fucking there's a few private organizations. Like people don't realize Palantir and Axis Communications are private organizations that are throwing up cameras, and these are private organizations storing your car, you shit, probably even your house if it's near the camera, into these computers. It's not the US government. Well, it is, but they're not going to admit it. When you look these companies up, they're private organizations. How the fuck are private organizations occupying cameras and databases in our country? You know, like that to me is treason like a motherfucker. Why isn't this fucking coming up? Fusion centers. Interesting. No. Yeah. I mean, I used to see that Google car driving around. That bothers me, but not as much as these flock and private companies that are occupying the soil here. And it don't bother me as much as Trump pretty much, what's the word I'm looking for? What did he give Kodak Black? What was that called? When Kodak Black was in prison, Trump signed a in Canada, yeah. What is that shit called, man? That the president can sign for someone in prison? Oh, fuck. What's good, Renegade? Anyway, man, I don't know. I forgot. I gotta look it up because I can't move on without. Okay, Trump. Okay, clemency. I think that's what it's called, clemency and a pardon. There you go. So now Trump literally pardoned himself, so he cannot be held accountable for anything in Epstein or like, yo. That at that point, that's when I truly know these laws were put in place for them to have loopholes. It's like playing the guy who created the game. Like, if we had a true justice system, which we don't, I don't think it ever was, that wouldn't be allowed. These people would say no, but unfortunately, that's not going to happen. The only way these people will see prison is if we do it, and that's a fucking dream. People are scared of these people like they're fucking Wolverine or fucking the Beast or something. Like, man, same thing with Biden. He fucking gave a pardon to Fauci and all these people, man, that poisoned everyone. Like, yo, there's one thing that they can't stop, and that's a bullet to the fucking face. Execution style for treason. And I say that not being a patriot, I say treason against the people. I was watching this guy's live stream, when the so-called white man came here and poisoned the waters of the Indian, they would go upstream and poison the water. And when it would flow downstream, it would kill the native tribes. That's an act of war. They poison our water today and people are like, it's good for your teeth. Fluoride's good for you, man. It's amazing, bro. It's fucking amazing. Oh, man. These people could kill someone's mother and we won't do shit about it. I'm not after lawsuit money. Nah. I don't want their fucking money. I just want them to suffer, that's all. They gladly will pay money. They have all the money to play with. They rather have 80 lawsuits than one person fighting them in court to lock them up. Which that won't happen either. I haven't seen a corporation do any time in prison for poisoning water, air. I mean, DuPont poisoned the air because they killed flocks of birds that flew over their factory. So not only did they poison the air, they poisoned the water. And then they poisoned the people. And yet they're still free, spending that money that they made off those poisonous frying pans and whatever else C8 was sprayed on. But back to this flock of dooskies. Let me see if I could pull this up. Because to me, this is serious stuff. I was walking around Hartford looking at this map yesterday and pinpointing the cock cameras, the flock. Let me tell you, there's a lot of stuff I would like to tell you, but not on here. Wow. Hold on. Do you know the symbol to the flock website is an owl with a camera head? Are you fucking kidding me, bro? Yo, bro. Is this a fucking joke? Son diddly done? Yo, don't play with me like that. Don't ever fucking disrespect me like that. Ever in your long looking life had a bald-headed bitch for a bald-headed wife. Oh, Dirty's crazy for that. Yo! What's going on here, dude? Close it, you fucking hump. Yeah, I'm having technical difficulties here. What is going on, dude? Yo, what does it say? Yeah, what the fuck, dude? Nothing wants to close now? Yeah, what the fuck, man? This shit won't even exit out. Yo, this is something else. Oh, thank God, man. I was about to lose it. So there's 103,567 flock surveillance cameras in the United States right now. 103,567. There's 69 cities rejecting. Now, I say, since they're private organizations, they have no permission to put the shit up. Excuse me. I say we take them down. You know, how is it the mayor, right? The mayor I was thinking about this yesterday in the city I live in. The mayor will set up these projects for the city. I've never seen a town meeting in the city I live in. And if there is, they're probably private. And at this point, that's how they get away with all this shit. It's because no one goes to most people here where I live probably don't even know about a town meeting. And the only people that show up are probably people involved in fucking the city over. That's how these mayors, our last mayor was spending our tax money on her children and buying cars and paying for children's school with the city tax money. Who set up these deals in the town? A $500,000 deal to make a fucking walking sidewalk, like a walking path on the side of a highway? Like, what fucking idiot puts an exercise path next to a highway? Who comes up with these ideas? It's such a waste of our tax money because we pay for it. And these fucking people, these mayors and governors and the council are pocketing off it, you know? Especially that $1 billion data center. That's wild. They're going to turn the entire Myrtle Street into a data center factory. Like, these buildings are huge. They're going to fill up with computers. I couldn't believe. I was looking into the project and I'm like, yo, I know the mayor got hit off lovely and the council. Like, if you go to the city website to look for town meetings, it says the town meetings are held on your phone. Very interesting. So if you start saying something you don't agree with, or you speak on stuff they don't like, oh, my bad, all of a sudden you lost signal. I think that's wild, man. It's beneficial to them. They don't want public meetings. Anyway, to me at least, it seems like there's been an all-time rise. And I'm not saying governors and mayors and councils haven't been robbing us. They have, but they're so discreet. They're less discreet about it now. It's like right in the open. Like, who cares? What are they gonna do? It's wild. I'm closely watching the mayor or the ex-mayor to the city because I guarantee you she isn't gonna do a fucking second in prison. These sisterhoods and brotherhoods look out for each other heavily, man. So these flock cameras, so these cameras collect data on millions of vehicles regardless of whether the driver is suspected of a crime or not. These systems are marketed as indispensable tools to fight crime, but they ignore the powerful tools police already have to track criminals, such as cell phone location data, creating a loophole that doesn't require a warrant. So once again, they're using safety as the loophole. That's the major loophole in any law is safety. That's dangerous. Is just like Ford. Ford was gonna put, you know, in their automobiles, the thing with the eyes where you can't slant down in your seat. You got to sit up straight, and so they could scan your eyes. Well, that was against the Constitution. So what did they do? They re-put it in and said it's for safety. Now, there's people that have cars that already does that. And one lady made a very good point. She was driving on a busy fucking highway. She slanted down in her seat and the whole car turned off in the middle of the fucking highway. That's insane. She made a good point. She's like, what if there's an 18-wheeler behind me? I'd have been dead. Like, obviously, they don't care about your safety. It's about control. Yo, we're gonna have a real gloomy fucking future, man. Imagine you get up one morning and your car repos itself. You are late on a payment. Sorry. You go to get in your car and it won't unlock. And then the car says, you're late on your payment. Today, your car will be repoed. And that shit backs out the driveway and drives back to the dealership. That's the same thing that's going to happen with apartments, too. These digital doors they're going to put in. They already put some up in Connecticut in the poor areas. So if you don't pay your rent or the door just locked and you can't get back in. It's all digital key cards. No more keys. So that's where that's gonna go with that. Yeah, life is over. Zionist Jews are winning. Get an old motor without engine management. That would be dope. I mean, if you got a car that's old school, you know, these people upstairs are driving nuts. If what's the chances of 12 junkyards all catching fire the same day? That shit is funny, man. Sorry, your car, sorry, you didn't make a payment. Huh? Sort of like a cell phone. You didn't make your payment. Service has been extinguished. Tammy's a cop. I didn't want to say nothing, but Yeah, Tammy's the cop. I always knew it. Whee! YouTube police on the scene. All right, let's see. What are ALPRs? ALPRs are automated license plate readers, or LPRs, license plate readers, or AI powered cameras that capture and analyze images of all passing vehicles, storing details like your car's location, date, and time. They also capture your car's make, model, color, and identifying features such as dents, roof racks, and bumper stickers, often turning these into searchable data points. Okay. Ooh, that is so true. The dangers of ALPRs. Privacy violations. ALPRs track your movements and store your data for long periods of time, creating a detailed record of your location history. You know what's crazy? If the government worked for the people, which we all know is poop crock of shit, shouldn't we be able to make laws? How is it they can make laws? I mean, I know the answer to my own question, but I want to see what you guys say. Yo, these people are driving crazy. I wish I had a sister, I swear. I would send her upstairs to beat this lady up. All right. Wrongful arrests. Let's see. Do, 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 do. What's this? Our markets? What? I thought this was for. Uh, um, damn, North Carolina police errors with license plate cameras brought wrongful arrest, $70,000 to this woman. That's it? 70K. More than half of that went to getting her car out. Bond. Jacqueline McNeil was heading home to get ready for her goddaughter's funeral when the lights started flashing. Even as 5 or 6 police cruisers surrounded her in the parking lot of a Fayetteville convenience store, she couldn't imagine they were for her. So this is how they get you. It says, just days before, cameras caught a white sedan at the scene of a shooting that left a 19-year-old man hospitalized. With the city's license plate readers, police spotted McNeil's white Nissan Versa a few minutes away. So if someone commits a crime and they got a car like yours, best believe you're automatically involved. Automatic. That link. Oh wait, yeah, that link was enough for Fayetteville detectives to issue a "be on the lookout" alert for her car, according to police. And this could get someone killed too, man. An innocent person. I could see that coming. Imagine this woman, man. She's older too, in her 60s, probably terrified. NDI Technologies. Oh wow. Rec Wrecker System. Let's see who this is. This is another private organization. Nope. Wrecker. REKOR. Roadway Pirates. It says Roadway Intelligence. Yeah, okay. Do. Wrecker. Yeah. Um, just what I'm looking for. A C320 camera. The NDI recognition system. C320 LP AL license plate reader camera with infrared LED illumination options. So you could buy these fucking things. Ooh, they got data sheets for them. Oh, ooh, let's learn all we can about these things. How to put them up, how to take them down, how to take the tracking bug off them. But you ain't learning from me. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Huh. Let's see, it says benefits. Provides side-by-side IR and color cameras for license plate reader overview. 18 times zoom lens enables flexible deployment options. Does not require additional external illuminators. Operates in severe weather conditions. Camera is suitable for permanent fixed installations, compatible with most ALPR systems. Reads license plates at night. Well, we got something for that too. License plates at night. You won't be reading my plate. There's ways around everything. Fucking cameras. They're gonna slowly start moving away real soon. Yo, these people been doing this shit all night. The lady upstairs drinks. She's a fucking bum. And they be doing this shit at 3 in the morning, yo. They probably smoke crack too. I don't know. But yeah, that's what you got to deal with when you live in apartments. Let's see, what's this? Beat it, bum bum boogie. No, there's no catnip. There's some crack cocaine, a little bit of PCP. Oh, yo, what the fuck is wrong with these people, man? I hope they're moving out. All right, let's see. Wow, these things look like the SC2 processor. It looks like a amp. These processors send it to my phone to show y'all. I wonder if I could get me one of these. I wonder if there's like tracking bugs. I'm going to try one day. Figure out what's what here. One day over the rainbow. No, you fucker. Now, what the fuck is going on here? Okay. If you want to come up, Dom, you're more than welcome to. That's on you. Man, somebody farted. Oh, shit. I think I just fucked up. No, I didn't. All right. So, all right, where'd I leave off? All right. So it says, I felt like I didn't have any help. McNeil told the news and observers describing that day in 2022. That's 4 years ago. I felt like the moment I stepped out of my car, I was automatically guilty. Oh, now people are getting it. Because you are. You got to prove your innocence in America. Come on, people. Hello? If you were innocent before proven guilty, they wouldn't lock you in a cage. Automated license plate readers, whether it's the record system or more than 100 cameras from NDI Technologies, are designed to gather evidence and help solve crime. See? It's to keep you safe. They care so much. They want to keep you so safe, they'll spray the skies with metals. That's how much they care about your safety. But McNeil's case is one at least 2 in the state. I wonder where that lady was wrongfully accused. She spent 6 months in prison. She lost her home. She lost all her shit in storage over being accused of something she had nothing to do with. All because AI wrongfully accused her. That's wild, man. I would be shitting my pants if I had to go up against AI. Because, and it's coming. Best believe it's coming. If it's in the movies, oh, it's on its way, man. One day this world will be judged by an AI computer, and that's scary. Not much scares me, but that does. Ah. Wow. See? It says she settled months later for $60,000. Wow. They even put the settlement agreement in here. What's up, Dom? That's crazy. She got a little measly 60 grand. That's like a piss in the bucket. Like I said, I bet you most of that went to bond to get her car out. And then the time she had to miss for work. Hmm. I think Dom. Hmm. Well, we paid that lady. It's coming out of our tax money. Maybe Dom left. I don't know. I guess so. I don't know what happened there. Believe nothing you hear, and only one half of what you see is attributed to Edgar Allan Poe. Edgar Allan Poe and emphasizes skepticism and critical thinking in evaluating information in 1845, especially on the net. Well, whenever I think of the 1800s, I think of how healthy people were eating back then. They were eating off the land. 90% of what people ate was grown on their own land back in them days. Supermarkets really didn't exist. That goes to show the knowledge and wisdom people had back then. You are what you eat. So they literally are eating what they're growing, and they're interacting with the plants, which, from what I hear, when you interact with the plants pretty much are reading your biodome, or whatever you want to call it. It's reading your DNA or whatever. I even heard put the seeds in your mouth. Like, plants are like computers for sure, man. The intelligence of a plant is remarkable. When I started looking into plants and how intelligent they are, I said, fuck a human, man. Plants are way more intelligent. What's up, Dom? I think I'd rather have a conversation with a plant sometimes.
In a dark room, hopefully.
Naked.
Ooh, well, they're already naked, so I can't see why not get into our birthday suit.
That's funny. You ever see a tree with some pants?
It's called bushes.
Mm-hmm.
So I said earlier, sorry, I guess you couldn't hear me. When she settled, whatever, that's why they usually say they settle for money. Did she become innocent at that point?
I couldn't hear you. These fucking people upstairs are moving shit.
That's okay.
What was that?
I said, after all that ordeal and she settled for money, did she get professed to be innocent?
Oh yeah, I read that too in there, where there's a bunch of things in the claim that she signed, not just the money. I was reading the claim. Yeah, something was in there about that, to where it claimed her innocence and all that, but 60 grand is like fucking nothing. But I look at it like this: you either get 60 grand or nothing, because the system is fucking rigged too. So that's probably the only justice she'll get, is a little 60 grand. Because ain't no one going to jail for fucking up. No cops will. And actually, let me rephrase that. The people didn't fuck up. It was the computer.
Well, when you take money, it's not about justice. It's about commerce.
Yeah. Maybe she felt that's the only winning she was going to get out of it.
Probably. Because more times than not, if you want an apology or whatever, you don't have to go to commerce court for that. So it's erroneous for people. I know we just say it out of habit, Chuck, but you're not going to get justice in a commerce court. You'll get financial gain. If you want an apology, you don't need lawyers or lawyers or judges. You just need to be in the parking lot and say, listen, I'm sorry, that I ran over your cat. I'm really sorry. That's justice. But for most people, they want some sort of financial gain from it. How much are you going to pay me for the veterinarian bills to save my cat? Again, it's one of those things where people think that they're innocent. Innocent from what? And then you can apply that to guilty. Guilty from what? What are we guilty of? Being in a meat suit? I don't know. I'm speculating at that point, but this is the game that we play with ourselves. We think, it's always fun when you hear somebody say, children are innocent. Okay, from what? What are they innocent from? They're naive, maybe. They probably just don't know how the system works, or do they?
I do it too. I think sometimes people hear things and they just regurgitate it. It sounds good to them, and they just repeat it, and they don't process it or think about it.
Mm-hmm. That's why you should question.
I'm guilty of it too. I catch myself doing it.
Yeah. Well, again, even that. What are we guilty of? Just being naive about it? Guilt would imply that somebody else must be guilty if I'm not guilty. So again, it's the concept of questioning things. Words are things, whether spoken or written. Those are things. We should be able to, question them, maybe have comprehension or reflect. But for most people, don't. What most people do, they react. I do it too. I'm just talking from the idiot point of view. I choose to call myself an idiot. Doesn't mean I am an idiot, but I like to play the game. Some people have a tough time humbling themselves. So what would offend you or me or anybody else calling myself an NPC or useless mouth breather, a goyim, an intellectual being? These are just words that we use on each other. Well, I do it on myself, but if anything, maybe her suit was guilty of something for jaywalking, maybe. As a reward, we'll give you $10,000. And if people are honest, most people would take that $10,000.
I would.
Sure you would. You're being honest, Chuck. Because you understand, as long as the rest of us are playing with money, you're going to need some of that resources, or in that case, piece of paper, so you can either pay your rent, go buy food, buy weed, whatever.
Much as I don't like the system, unfortunately, whether I like or not, doesn't matter. It's still going to go on, whether I like it or not.
Well, it's always that fun term when people say, hate the game but not the player. I said, no. Fuck with the player. Observe the game. Fuck with each other. Let's play with each other. But it should work both ways. And hopefully the person that's fucking with you has already done it to themselves first. Because I don't want to be somebody else's muse if they've never been their own muse. You know, I get it, Chuck. It's a system that I'm probably not going to fully grasp. But when I do grasp a little bit of it, I think I ponder the players that are in it, which is me. And I'm like, okay, so would you, Dom, not turn down $1 million if somebody offered it to you? I said, what are the conditions? Does it really matter? Not really. Well, you're a sellout. I thought I already bought into the system. I'm just, wanting a little bit extra. We can't, like, I know that's the latest. Hey, let's feed them ticks. If not ticks, let's feed them data centers. Yeah, that's right. Give them data center as we're all using cell phones, laptops, YouTube, Streamline, Zoom, and then like thinking, well, they shouldn't be able to, what, excuse me? They shouldn't be able to what? In the old days, they never had this kind of information. They would have to gather information the other way, but it's all about data information. The tree of life could literally be a data information.
It is. Trees hold a lot of information.
There you go. So at that point, can you imagine? Yeah, can you imagine all of them were witnesses? So then when the time comes, let's say hypothetically we do get judged. No, you're going to judge yourself, Dom, not others. Right. Is this what you do in the dark room? Yeah, that's me doing that all the time. Well, why don't you tell other people? That's a private matter. But I'm still judging myself. Who has the right to judge me, especially in a meat suit? The ones that do it, I'm like, okay, have you done it to yourself? If you say yes, well, now stay in your fucking lane. Unless we give each other permission to judge each other, who are we to judge each other? Now, I know people still do judge, and usually they do it out of ignorance. I don't agree with you, Dom. Okay, that's nice. Tell me when you're done. Opposed to asking me, Dom, do you value if people agree or disagree with you? Not really. So at that point, you know what that person's doing, Chuck? They're projecting. I do it too. It's not like as though I don't do it. How am I going to understand one of my fellow beings if I'm not participating?
Analyzing yourself, well, at least for me, when I analyze myself, it helps me see myself and other people I can recognize.
Well done, Chuck. Yeah, know thyself, and then you can see the self in others. But unfortunately, most people are trying to play hide and seek with the self. I don't see it in me, Chuck. I don't see it in me, but I see it in you. How would you see it in me if you can't see it in yourself? Well, I live in a glass bubble.
I'll never forget. This is off topic, but I'll never forget. My ex-girl told me one day. I told her I love her. She looked at me and says, "How do you love me? You don't even love yourself. You drink alcohol, you smoke weed. You don't even respect your own temple." That shit hit me real hard. I was like, "Damn, that's so true."
Mm-hmm.
I was a hypocrite.
Well, sometimes we can be hypocrites when you're more or less somewhat aware. Most people are just ignorant. There's a part of them that's coming out into the forefront, trying to speak to itself, but people dismiss and say, well, no, I put a dome over myself, so it must be everybody else. I don't want to govern myself, but yet I want to complain about other people that are governing over me. Okay, so you've chosen to be a slave, and they give you permission to bitch and complain about it. But no action is going to be done. Okay, because if there is an action, then why don't you just get up and walk away? Oh, no, I kind of want to still stay under the rulership of governments, but I want to complain about them. Okay.
I want to be able to pick my oppressor.
Yeah, pick and choose. You're on my team. No, you're on your team.
Mm.
Which is fun to play. I get it. I'm not here to take away from people's distraughts or whatever. But even the people that are poor should actually evaluate themselves. No different people that are rich or greedy. Unfortunately, for some people, if they had the choice of either or, they'll say, "Listen, I'll settle for being rich, but still be in the game that I don't agree with." That's the only difference. It's not so they're there to change the system. They're just saying, "I'd rather live in wealth opposed to poverty as I'm going to fuck and be fucked by the system." You know, how many people truly can say, if you were born through another womb and you were born silver spoon, and all of a sudden now you start talking to your buddies and say, "Listen, I think we should be helping the poor." What the fuck are you talking about helping the poor? We already give charities that indirectly go to one of our rich friends, but we just use them as a muse by saying we're really trying to help them. Really? Are you really trying to help the poor?
Well,
No different than the rich. The poor, are they really actually helping the rich directly? Probably indirectly they're helping them. Buying their Nike equipment, buying all their stereo equipment. Go ahead, Chuck.
I found out through one of my old bosses. His name was Rich Drezick. He owned the HVAC and plumbing business, and he owned a lot of property. He taught me a lot about. His father bought all of these properties. They were like, he paid $1 for a lot of them, but he had to fix them all up. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, he was telling me about when you give people money, you could write it off. When you donate money to organizations, you could write it off in your taxes. That's why a lot of people donate to write off to them.
Yep, it is. And if they're club members, they're probably reducing some of their membership fees. I'd be very hesitant to think that that person actually owns property. I would say, okay, do you pay property tax? Well, no. Do you have an allodial title? Well, yes. I said, so you don't own it then. Either they're playing a game knowingly or unknowingly. There's people that are rich that don't have a fucking clue how the system actually unfolds. But they'll play the game nevertheless because it's from an advantage point of view. You know, if a cop really knew
Dead now.
that.
I would love to ask him that, but he's dead. Passed away a few years.
No problem. He probably sold it to his next generation, the deeds. That's why it's called real estate. You get deeds. It doesn't mean you own it. Again, the elites understand this. They're rulers, not owners. They leave that for the goyim to play around with. You can't own anything in this realm. If that's the case, it's just an insult to the human race. Like zombies. Useless mouth breathers, NPCs.
Useless mouth breathers. So, what? Man.
It's an insult to Chuck. That's all it is. No different. I say tongue in cheek with meat suit. You know, I'm okay for saying it to myself. It might be offensive to myself, but that's for me to get over. But when other people get offended, I said, no, I said it to myself, not to you. This is where people don't understand. Stay in your lane.
It used to offend me, but I've grown out of that. It's just a fucking stupid, made up name, but it's designed to piss people off. But when you get past that, it's laughable.
Yeah, it reveals people. Most people, when they hear other people talk, they're living in their bubble. They think they're talking about them. This is why they even train people, we the people in our prosperity. The citizens think that they're talking about them. No, they're talking about themselves.
Yeah.
When I talk about me. When people want to say, well, Dom, do you honestly think you're a useless mother? Yes, in some instance I am. I'm acting, but I'm to a certain point, there's those moments where, yes, I'm a useless mouth breather. I'm naive. I'm an idiot. I'm a piece of shit. But also sometimes I'm kind of wise. But I'm okay with that. Personally, I'm okay with it. Other people, I don't know. I can't speak for them. But if they react in my presence because I'm calling myself out, fuck, I'm like, I don't even give a shit what your cards are. But you're telling me what you have. You get offended by words. I'm not saying you, Chuck. Well, we do it all in a certain way. You know, I give people the benefit of that when I started coming onto these panels, like, fuck, have you actually ripped a hole in yourself? Well, no. Well, then you're not going to enjoy what the fuck I got to say. And I'm still being polite about it. You know, then you get the occasional yahoo that thinks they're above humanity. Oh, I'm the best in the world. I don't give a shit what color your skin is or your gender. Get down here with the rest of us so we can play. Now, my version of a play is an illusion. I'm in the illusion. I'm using words to describe things. You know, if I'm so worrying about a tree fucking killing me, then I wouldn't go in the forest then. But I realize there's a chance one day I might walk in the forest, bang, a tree falls on my vessel, and then I pop out. Oh, fuck me. I didn't even have a chance to say goodbye to Judith. You know, Chuck, I rarely fear anything, because if I'm going to start doing that, I might as well not get in my car, I might not get on my bike, because I might get hit by a car. Dare not my scooter might fucking run into a telephone pole. You know, like that. To me, fear is just, right, Chuck?
If you're riding a bike and a fucking deer hits you.
The deer go like, fuck!
You
What were
ever
you
see the
doing?
videos? Deers are fucking powerful.
No, I wouldn't want to get hit by a deer, but if it ever comes to be, I would have to question why I was, you know, somewhere where a deer could hit me. But I get it. If you're out in the street driving a car, let alone a moose can hit you, poor creature has to suffer just as much as I got to, or whoever does.
You see moose in Canada where you are? Them things are big.
My first time I went to Algonquin Park, we went to do some canoeing. I saw this creature. I said, what the fuck is that? My buddy goes, that's a moose. I go, where's its horns? I got a 101 lesson that they shed their horns. But yeah, they're massive, Chuck. They're massive creatures.
Had no horn. I guess I was wrong.
Well, they shed horns. That's what I came to the conclusion. Well, not the conclusion. I was told. I was educated. No,
that would be awesome to find horns, you know, shedded horns. I would put them on my wall. That'd be cool. A cool piece.
Maybe that's what they do. You know, it's like no different with elephant tusk or whatever. Preferably if the animal's dead, but I get it. People make it a sport out of the creatures, like how humans make each other a sport. Still fun to play. Sometimes it sucks to be if you're the other end.
Shit, there's 3 movies that came out this year that I watched. They Will Kill You, and the other one is Ready or Not, and then some other one that it's about hunting people for sport and sacrifice, satanic sacrifice in these movies. And they literally be like, Hail Satan in these movies. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on?
Well, you know, Saturn, Satan, that's all about the material, hence the evil aspect. Evil world, material world. So when you're playing in the material world, it doesn't necessarily mean people actually will look at their vessels and honor it. So if they can screw other people, they just do it in a different way. Let's hunt another human being. Let's have fun, you know. And if you grew up in that environment, that's probably normal. Whether it's hunting a human being or a boar or some other poor creature, it's just what it is. And hey, let's nibble on them after. Let's give that to McDonald's. You know, once you reach a certain age, people should be able to see the many crimes on humanity. Could even call it fun. You know, it's not. I don't make the rules up, Chuck. I just follow them. I'm like, okay, so humans are allowed to kill each other, but respect them when they're a baby. But once they become of a certain age, they're fair game. Oh, okay.
Well, they want to legalize abortion and then take your guns away. So they want to make it cool to murder babies, newborn, or not even developed babies. You know, but you're not allowed to protect yourself from criminals, but you're allowed to slaughter babies in the womb. I mean,
but the whole premise, Chuck, is if you don't, like, let's say they say, listen, you can't abort any you know, little alien in your body, and now they become of a certain age, and then they've never been raised correctly, and now they basically can kill you. Now you can build a device like a gun and still kill a human being now. That's a joke. Regardless, because whoever these criminals are, they're humans still. Regardless if they were a baby that didn't get aborted and then they reached a certain age. And
no, you're right. And the people who run this world are criminals.
They could be. They literally could be, Chuck. I can't prove it one way or the other. I could speculate and say, yeah, they are. But then I would have to back it up a little bit by, how can I prove that? Because they give us all kinds of technologies. They give you bling bling wheels. They give you all this. But yet at the same time, they're out to kill you.
We're not too intelligent as a so-called human species. We
You got it.
fucking we build guns that are going to be used on us. We build the bombs they could drop on us. We fucking build. We'll put up this digital prison. Hey Johnny, we got to put these towers up, and the motherfuckers putting the towers up know what they're for. And they'll still put them up. They know they're gonna get cancer from them, and they'll still put them up because they'd be like, "I gotta feed my children." And then in 7 years, they're gonna have to pay for their cancer bill. So these idiots didn't think I won't be alive in 8 years. So who's gonna feed my family then? I don't know. I've said that concept before, but I've thought into it even deeper. Like people would do anything for some money, man, including create their own self-destruction.
Very true, Chuck. Very true. You don't have to go into the new technology today. You just have to look at, me and Chuck just went to the what you call it, one of the different militaries. Let's look at their submarines. Let's look at their tanks. Let's look at their fighter jets. I'd be like asking Chuck, I'm like, hey, what do you think they created all that? It's amazing tech, but what are you guys going to be using that on? Like an elephant? Well, no, on the human race. Oh, okay.
You're going to be using it on you.
Yeah. But at the same time, they can say, but look at the double-edged sword here. Think about how many people got employed to build that submarine, or those rockets, or all of this stuff. So at that point, it's always been about keeping a population at a certain percentage, if that's maybe they could use it for.
Or how about it could protect you, right? They always use that package. It's for your protection. There's an outside threat.
Yep, always. It's a double-edged sword, Chuck. We're protecting you as we're killing them. Okay, but what happened if I'm over there? Well, then we're killing you because we're protecting us. See, that's the double-edged sword going on. We built devices to harm as much as we do to use that illusion of protecting. At that point, well, then it's free game on everybody. Sure it is. If you were born somebody in Iran and like thinking, is America our trading partners? Well, yeah. Well, what happened if we don't want to agree with them anymore? Well, they'll come here and bomb us. Well, okay, that makes sense. Once you start seeing it from like that,
I don't think Iran would bomb us or China would bomb us. I think our government would bomb them, if anything. They've already proven that. They always make it seem like these other countries are a threat to us. I'm not worried about them countries. I'm worried about our own government more than anything else.
But the reason why they bomb them is because from their point of view, America is our economic ally. And if we don't agree with them, they'll bomb us. There's the difference. See, it'd be different if it was fair, meaning that Iran, Russia, and all these other countries were equal with America economically. And the first way that starts is get rid of your international currency of American money. Now let's make it equal. It isn't equal. It's a rigged game. So now in America, not to say about the citizens, they just benefit from their fucking looting. So now, if it was a fair system, let's everybody have all the same amount of guns, tanks, submarines. Everybody can trade with each other whatever fucking piece of paper they want. But it isn't. You got the bully called the empire doing whatever the fuck it pleases. And then the Americans that proudly say that they're Americans, I said, you realize you're basically encouraging a pedophile at that point, a bully. That is what the empire in America is all about. Now, whether or not you were born in that suit, in that place, you're participating. It's not a bad thing.
Sean Strickland?
No, Chuck. Who's Sean Strickland?
Sean Strickland is a UFC fighter. There's supposed to be some fight at the White House for UFC, and he ain't allowed to go because he spoke out against the Palestine, whatever. He's saying they ain't Jewish enough to go or some shit. Probably. He said, but that's cool. I don't want to go hang out with the Epstein list.
That may be true, but there's a good chance he probably, if he's in one of those organizations, signed a contract. And in that contract, his lawyer didn't inform him, this is part of the punishment to you. That might be a lower level punishment. You're just not able to go there. And that's just a message to the rest of them. You follow him, then we can actually do other things to you. We could bury you in the ground without even you knowing it. Best case scenario. Yeah. Best case scenario for
Dana
most.
White said he'll take his belt. Huh.
Yeah, I think his belt. That's best case scenario. Worst case scenario is they just strip him of everything he has. Actually, my apology. Best case scenario for most people is a bullet in the back of the fucking head. Outside of that, then you have to suffer. They'll take away all your wealth. They'll make it very tough on your loved ones. This and that. This is not this. Hey, I'm an individual gangster and all that. No, this is deeper than that. They want you to have family so they can play with them.
Mm-hmm.
You want to sacrifice some of your families, directly or indirectly? Which one do you want to play with?
Who do you love the most?
Yeah, who do you love the most?
Kill them. You gotta kill them by midnight.
Maybe, or they'll just fuck with them. And they'll say, listen, I don't know why my bank account went down to zero. Mom, I can't tell you why they went to zero. Why? Because then I would be revealing that they're fucking you through me. Again, these are clubs that probably the people that they don't like, when people complain about certain leaders or whatever, they're probably puppets that have many strings attached to them. And if they pull the wrong way, they're fucked.
Or they're showing an example, if that could be all part of their agenda. Mm-hmm. So if we could fuck Sean Strickland over and kick him out and take all his money, imagine what we can do to you.
Sure they did. You think about what they did. Yeah,
when they arrested him.
People have short memory. They forget, What do you think they were doing to Whitney Houston? She just chose to fucking leave. But who knows if karma's a bitch? She might have signed a contract, or her family signed a contract and said, listen, question is, why did you jump into that womb? See, there's a reason why they call it a soul contract. And it doesn't end just because you fucking leave the fucking meat suit.
Didn't she die in a tub like her daughter?
Sure she did. But then again, could that all have been staged? Maybe.
Yeah.
Who
the fuck gets all fucked up and be like, I'm going to go take a bath? Yeah. I've never seen that in my life with an addict.
Yeah, and then they probably
too fucked up to get to the tub.
Like what they did with Diddy there, Puff Diddy. That it's not more about him than everybody around him. This is what we can do to anybody at any given moment.
That's why, to me, it ain't worth being wealthy and in these clubs. I like to be alone.
Yeah, it's a tough one, Chuck, because we're standing on this side. If you got conditioned, me and you got conditioned in those kind of environments, it would be business as usual. It's usually the occasional person that wakes up, whether you're poor or you're rich, and say, okay, if I'm rich and I wake up, fuck, I got to really deal with all my fucking moron buddies. Opposed to if I'm poor, fuck, the poors don't give a shit about me, so I can talk about whatever I want. There's the difference.
Once you're in, there's no turning back, and I know that. That's why I stay far away from these people. I choose to walk a righteous path. I don't need to be a part of a club that bad, man. I like rolling dolo, solo, alone low. I like to be like Ghostface Killer. 1 minute I'm here, the next minute I'm not. Dom's loading up a fucking, sound like he was loading up a M14. Bitty bitty bing bong. It's so fucking hot. I put the AC in yesterday. I had to. It was like 95 yesterday.
Sorry, Chuck, I'm back. That's the conditions I have when I have an ailing, aging cat. Feed her whenever she wants to be fed. I'm going to pose possibilities or use imagination. I wonder how people were back in the day when you spoke about certain things publicly. I wonder what happened to them.
Oh. things were more private back then. Like, I I don't think. Well, you could get away with more back then. You know, you can blow someone's wig off and dump them somewhere. There wasn't cameras everywhere. People didn't snitch like today. Um, you could get away with a whole lot more back in them days. And um, like I watch these movies of these towns where the sheriff runs these little towns, like out in the farming areas, and everyone in the town, like, you know, let's say the sheriff was a white supremacist, or even vice versa. Um, things were different back then, man. People didn't fuck around.
Well, where I was going with that, Chuck, is when a person talks openly, publicly. You can't snitch when you're openly talking about it. That's usually if somebody said confides with you privately. But when people used to, like, sit on their milk cart or whatever, and go down to to some sort of like downtown main strip or whatever, and start publicly talking about things. I don't agree with the government. I think we should be banning this and that. I wonder what would happen to those kind of individuals. Would they either be scorned by the masses, or would they be punished by the masses?
I'm gonna test it. I'm gonna do a video one day. I'm trying to think where I could go.
Well, you live in
I'll go
America.
to a liberal McDonald's.
I know, but you live in America where there's freedom of speech, not about freedom of action. So you're able to
I
freely
gotta
talk.
run. You said the word freedom. I gotta start running away.
No, sure you do. Anytime it's freedom of speech, free will. Anytime, nothing's free. You need effort. But if you remember, people go based on these words. So if you were able to go in a public platform and openly speak or freely speak, you shouldn't be punished, even though the public do punish people by saying, that's woo-woo, that's stupid talk. That's judgment at that point. So most people will be judged verbally, but they won't be judged physically, even though some people will say, something, you've offended me now, so now I'm going to get off my chair and beat you up. I said, you're not even mentally and emotionally stable. Back in the days, they would have beheaded people, Chuck.
And we might need some of that to come back.
It can be,
Hold
but
on, I gotta grab some coffee. I'll be right back.
yeah, go ahead, Chuck.
or just
You back, Chuck? You back?
yeah.
YouTube should be, some of the hosts on YouTube should be like human resources, so people can come in and file all their complaints at their workplace. I don't agree with the government. I don't agree with NASA. I don't agree with the elites. Sounds like you have a lot of disagreements. Would you like that in writing? Oh no, I don't. I want to be an alias name, but yet I want to still be able to complain.
Shit.
Wouldn't that be kind of like a snitch, Chuck? When you think about it, people that come online and then complain about certain things, but yet hide behind an alias name, like a snitch.
Kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, it is crazy. If someone, I don't know. I don't have nothing to hide. That's why I put my real name. But
Yeah, that's you, Chuck. I respect that about you, Chuck.
a lot of people get fake accounts and shit because they're gonna do grimy shit like troll people, or they gotta hide who they are. They're confidential informants. No, I'm joking. I don't know if they are, but
It could be, but from the outside looking in, if I had to lean in, I would say, yeah, they are.
never know.
Hmm.
Fuck. I usually never use a microwave, but I'm cheating today.
Put your phone around and get somebody to call you. It'll probably nuke it too.
Yeah, I've seen an experiment where people put popcorn seeds in between the phone and they call it pop the kernels. I'm not sure that is, but I would love to try it. Or maybe you need old phones. I don't know. You think it'll work?
Depends on the environment that everything's around it. But yeah, there's a triangulation going on. You know, they've shown that you can heat and either heat or cold, and you can still cook an egg on a pan. You know, again, it's just understanding elements.
Yeah, I've seen that video where the guy was cooking an egg. He was cooking an egg with frequency, and it was actually cold, but it still fried the egg. And he could touch it with his hand, and it wouldn't burn him, but it was still cooking the egg. Go figure that. Why don't we use that technology on our stoves? Oh, same reason why we use oil, gas over, you know, there's other ways we could do things, but
Sorry, Chuck. It was a call I had to take.
sorry.
We can bring it to a more lighter side. We could talk about sports. World Cup started up. Canada's playing today.
Yeah, who was in it wasn't there was no Canadian team that made it to the NHL. The Bruins got booted out against Buffalo Sabres. I'm surprised Buffalo didn't make it. I gotta see who's in there.
Oh, you're talking about the NHL, the Stanley Cup right now.
Yeah.
Carolina against Vegas.
Vegas was winning 3-2, I think, or something. No. Was it?
Flip it. Carolina is right now.
They're up 3-2.
Yeah.
And the Knicks are up 3-1, man.
Wow,
They
that's
win. I still think the Spurs are gonna come back.
They're making too many errors. I think the Weebly, whatever his name is, he's a great player. He's young still. It's tough to come back after you let a 29 or 27 point lead just disappear. So that's gonna be tough.
And now the Red Sox are talking trade talks because they suck so bad they can't buy a fucking game. I don't want to see them trade Aroldis Chapman. Aroldis Chapman is, I think it's 6 strikeouts to tie for the most ever and 7 to become the all-time leader. And I would like to see him do that in a Boston uniform. That's a good accomplishment. He'll be the all-time leader, the all-time closer leader in strikeouts. He passed Goose Gossage this year. Now he just has to pass. I thought it was going to be Mariano Rivera, but I was wrong. Let me see who it is.
No, it depends what he wants. Depends how his contract is structured. He might want to win a World Series before his career is over.
He ain't going to do that this year in Boston.
Boston right now, Chuck, could easily be the 5th best team in that division out of the 5. Blue Jays are both 3rd. Tampa and New York are kind of like running a little bit with it. Baltimore's improved again this year. So Boston literally could be the 5th best team in that division.
Well, Boston could turn it around, man, but
they could.
Don't seem. I think a lot of players their ego got in the way because they fired Alex Cora. A lot of people were pissed about that, so they're probably purposely sucking just to piss the front office off.
Boston's a town for baseball. It's either you have a chance to be a contender, and right now they're not a contender. They might make the playoffs. Give them that, Chuck. They might make the playoffs.
They could have such a good team. They have such a good lineup with bats, but like Jarren Duran could be so much better than he is right now.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Ceddanne Rafaela.
But everybody right now in baseball are pretty equally matched. There's a couple of elite teams, and everybody else has a good lineup. So, I remember I joked with my brother about the Blue Jays. There are a couple of wins fighting for being in first place, and there are a couple of losses for being outside of the playoffs. So it's too early in the season. I joke. I said they should play at least 6,000 games, and then decide it after that. Because baseball is it's long, right? They probably don't play as many doubleheaders as they used to, but it's for pitchers and batters, it's a long season. You know what I mean? And it's probably long for the outfielders being out in the outfield. Like, okay, I got to fall asleep. I got to make sure I catch that fucking beeline or a hit. And then of course you can easily get injured now in the infield.
All right, so. Aroldis Chapman this can't be right, man. Hold on. 40, 341, 360. Yeah, he's way past this. Something ain't right with this post. Let me see. I gotta data indicate anyway. Hoyt with what the hell is this dude's name? Hoyt. Hoyt. I mean, Hoyt in German means stop. Hoyt. Hoyt Wilhelm. He was a knuckleballer. He's all-time closer leader in strikeouts with 1363. So Chapman passed Goose Gossage for 3rd to 2nd with 1341. And look, you got Kenley Jansen, who's still an active closer. He's at 1287, probably more than that now. And he's 4th all-time. Then you got 5th all-time is Craig Kimbrell who's at 1286, and he's still pitching. Then you got Lee Smith, Billy Wagner, Rolly Fingers. I got Rolly Fingers autographed somewhere. David Robinson, Jesse Orozco. I thought there was another one that's still playing. I guess not. Mariano Rivera's 13? That's odd. Anyway, yeah. So I would like to see Chapman accomplish this. Let me see if I could find it right now. Chapman's 2026 strikeouts. Aroldis Chapman's 2026 stats. Yo. This fucking shit, man. Aroldis Chapman. Boom.
Be curious, Chuck, to know his stats. Lefty versus righty in Boston with that green monster, because there's players that try to swing to the fences when they're playing Boston, and a lot of times they get struck out. So there's an advantage of playing in Boston as a pitcher, especially if you're lefties versus righties.
He wanted to come to Boston, Aroldis Chapman, for a reason.
Yeah,
just like Sonny Gray.
Yeah.
That and because the Yankees fucked over Sonny Gray and Chapman, they both felt some type of way. So what better to make Yankees enemy their friend? It's the art of war. I don't think that's a good move in the art of war. I don't agree with that move, but a lot of people do it.
The Yankees and the Dodgers are a different type of team in the league. They finance a lot of teams with their presence in there. Boston's a good market. It's a good baseball market, but it's nothing.
I hear Jaron Duran. The Dodgers are looking at Jaron Duran.
Mm-hmm.
And if
Boston,
they get him, oh man. I mean, huh?
I was going to say, New York and the Dodgers are like Notre Dame football and NCAA football. They have their own contracts, so they help finance other teams with their presence. Because I remember when the Blue Jays were sucking big time, people were still coming into the stadiums because of the Yankees or the Dodgers or even Boston, when Boston has a half decent team. But nobody really wants to watch Baltimore play Toronto.
Where's this strikeout?
Does he have one more year on his contract, Chuck? This player that you're talking about, Chapman?
Yeah. He's got 1 or 2 more years. Boston.
If Boston's doing shitty and another team that's contending, is he a short reliever or is he the closer?
Closer.
Yeah, Toronto's a closer. Hoffman's shitty for Toronto, so they're trying to get one of their middle relievers to be closers. Again, baseball's changed a lot. Back in the days of Rolly Finger and all that, you have like 3 or 4 different middle relievers now, and then you have a closer. Sometimes you have a setup closer. You could face 3 different pitchers in one inning. It's a different game now, Chuck.
They showed Aroldis Chapman over the summertime. Man, he is chiseled, and he is in shape for his age. I mean, this guy, just his workouts, he goes back to I think he's from the Dominican, if I'm not mistaken.
How old is he?
He goes back home. I'll tell you right now. He's probably around my age. It doesn't have his fucking strikeouts here. I don't know why. Let's see. His birthday is. He was born in 88.
88.
So he's 7 years younger than me. He's 38. It says.
38.
38.
So he's got at least as long, and you're saying he's in good shape. So he's probably have another 3 or 4 more years left.
Yeah, he's definitely very, very healthy.
Mm-hmm.
This year, his ERA is .46. He's got a 1.2. What's WAR? Shit. I forgot what the WAR means. Something runs. I don't know. He's 0-1. The .46 ERA. So why don't it show his strikeout?
Mm-hmm.
I don't get.
Well, if Boston starts collapsing at the end of the season, Chuck, they're probably going to ponder whether or not to rebuild. And if they're going to rebuild, they might need some trade bait. And he might be a person that they could trade for, future drafts.
I wouldn't doubt it, because the Sox pretty much always trade their good players. Hey, you heard the Patriots got A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
The bigger one was Garrett going to the Rams.
Yeah.
Joe Garrett, that made Ram contender. Like they're favored to win the Super Bowl now because of him.
The Patriots would have had a super team if they didn't get rid of fucking Stephon Diggs, who brought them to the Super Bowl. Diggs was catching everything all year, and then it's almost like they put the blame on him, and it was like, oh, you're out of here. They let him go like the day after they lost the Super Bowl. And I'm thinking, typical Boston team, man. They'll use you up and just spit you out and be like, you're out of here.
But they got a reputable quarterback now. They have actually a good quarterback, so you give them time.
You need wide receivers though, and now they're talking about getting rid of Booty too. That's his last name, Booty. Booty or Booty. They call him Booty.
Problem
a little gay, but hey, they like grabbing his booty.
Yeah. Problem, Chuck, when you bring in really known receivers with a quarterback that hasn't proven himself, it becomes a squabble. So now they actually have a quarterback he's a good quarterback. So now for them to have good receivers like they got, what's his name? They just picked him up. New England's going to flourish again.
Like Brown.
Yeah, they're going to flourish. But they're still in the tough AFC. AFC has at least 7 or 8 contending teams.
They were flourishing when they had shit. I forget his name.
They had Brady?
Huh?
They had Brady?
Shit, this looks like Brady's son, this guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's
Stephon Diggs. They would have had Diggs on the left, A.J. Brown on the right, and then put Booty as a slot.
Yeah, but they had a shitty quarterback. They had that other quarterback. They eventually traded him, moved on from him. Macy or whatever his name. Yeah.
These wide receivers are veterans. They could have showed a few things, But you got
to remember, they got rid of Brady left and the coach left, so they didn't have to worry about rigging games anymore.
Seen the Astros got caught cheating, that they were wearing all sorts of shit, man.
Even the Patriots.
They all cheat.
Sure they do.
Stealing signs ain't cheating. I was taught in Little League to pay attention to the base coaches. And I used to always watch the signals and I used to watch the base coach. If I played outfield, which is only my first year, after that, I locked in first base, and then.
Yeah, but Chuck, your Little League wasn't having billions of dollars being bet on it.
No, I know, but you're taught then to pay attention to the signs and to learn to deal with them.
There's an etiquette. Yeah, there's an etiquette called fair cheating, Chuck. It's not about cheating. It's about fair cheating. Does everybody? They do that in Formula One. They do that in basketball. Everybody tries to have an upper hand, but it has
to put a television in their dugout.
Yeah,
so they can watch it on TV and steal the catcher's signs.
That's right. Because they found a loophole, and then the Major League Baseball closed it. Again, that's where people become wise. They figure out what are the loopholes. Well, there's no ruling on it yet. They're talking about it.
Ejected, and then have that dude sit back there, right?
Yeah. It's like women's
Somehow put a
soccer.
device in your ear
Yeah,
and be like,
yeah,
he's gonna throw a slider.
yeah. It's like women's soccer. I think the Canadian team got caught with the discretion of having a drone flying over
What?
the stadium when other teams were practicing. They got caught for that. That was a big loophole, even though it's a common, you shouldn't have a drone flying over top, but there's no ruling on it. So then at that point, they have to figure out it's still something, we haven't made a rule on it yet, but it's still, we know it's wrong. That's
It
where
will
you,
be now.
yeah, and that's the same thing. Football, Chuck, back in the days of football, players used to take all kinds of pills just to get back out there.
I know.
They turn an eye to that. So today
Yo,
they
back in
call
the
it,
day, football was ruthless.
yeah,
Oh, in the
yeah,
80s,
yeah.
woo!
My buddy
You
Dom,
wouldn't last long. People
yeah,
would have broken legs,
yeah,
ribs.
yeah. My buddy Dom was a big guy. He used to play for the Calgary Stampeders, Canadian CFL.
Who? Oh, Canadian football league. Okay.
Yeah, Calgary Stampeders. And when he would get hit hard or he hit somebody hard, there's a collision, and then they would, the doctors would go out there and, are you okay? Yeah, okay, whatever. Patch me up, get back out there. But today they would do concussion protocol because the players are getting paid so much now. They're expensive cattle, so they got to make sure. Well, they are, Chuck. That's why they make rules. A player can only hit a quarterback to a certain point. If they start paying quarterbacks a lot of money, they want to make sure they protect them. Yeah.
If football's all about annihilating someone.
No, it's about entertainment. Football's entertainment.
Now it is.
No, it's always been entertainment, Chuck. It's just that you have to make it look real, and it probably is real, but it's still entertainment. Same. WWE and football are the same thing. It's entertainment. It's just that some of them are more scripted than others. Same with hockey, even though hockey is a fast-paced game. Baseball is more of a slow game. It's kind of like watching cricket. It's a beautiful game, but it's most people watch baseball unless you're playing like you do, Chuck, from I pick a team and I like it. That's it. But really watching baseball, for most people that like really fast games, it's a boring sport to watch. Unless
they don't get the elegance of baseball. They don't know the ritual.
Well, because you play it, Chuck. But Chuck, you play it. Yeah, no, Chuck, but you play it. It's like people that play soccer and then watch soccer. Okay, so for example, with the World Cup coming up, I like watching soccer. I like Brazil because I like their fast pace.
Spain, those people are in shape. Soccer.
Yeah, they're in shape. I get the shape part. All athletes are in shape to a certain. Even a sumo wrestler has to be in shape. So what ends up happening is when you watch soccer, watching it opposed to playing it. Watching soccer, I rather watch Brazil than Spain because it's a fast-paced game with them. They could be up 1-0, down 3-0, whatever. Spain is a technical team. They're the team that passes the ball a lot. They make you fall asleep. It's not the most entertainment game to watch. But they're probably one of the best teams when it comes to, at the end, they might win a game 1-0. Spain. Yeah. Spain's the kind of team they'll pass the ball thousands.
How's Germany?
Germany's a good team too. No, Germany's a bit of both. They're a good skilled team and they can also score. Germany, typical of Germans in general, they're very direct, logical, everything's lined up and all that. If they're winning 1-0, expect it to be a boring game. It's not like basketball or hockey probably more basketball, where you could be up 10 points and then down 10 points. Soccer, if you score 1 goal and you're a good defensive team, you're going to make everybody fall asleep. From an entertainment point of view. Not taking away from the skill of the game. To me, a good game to watch, Chuck, is lacrosse. Lacrosse is a fast-paced game. And once a person understands the rules, same with rugby. Rugby is a good game. It's a man's game. Even though women play it too, they're fucking tough. What do you mean you're playing with no pads? But we grew up, Chuck, in North America. We watch hockey, basketball, football, baseball. I'm trying to think of other sports that people kind of value. Indoor football, maybe that might be a fun game to watch.
Let me show you this. I forgot what this is. You see this, Dom? This is a this homemade. This is made in Pakistan.
Is that a field
You
hockey
know,
ball? A field hockey ball?
I think so. This is the one they hit with the paddle.
Yeah, field
I
hockey.
got
Yeah.
not. Nah, it's not. It's the one. You know. No, actually, I don't.
Is it one with a small stick?
I think so. Why won't my camera
Yeah,
turn off?
Yeah, it's field hockey. You're talking about field hockey.
Maybe. I'm gonna have to look this up.
India,
This is-
Pakistan, they're all good at that particular sport, besides other sports.
Yeah, they play in the park over here. But this, they make these balls. It's from their country. So one day I was cutting through, and this was on the ground. I said, "Wow." But yeah, I thought I could have sworn they throw this ball and it bounces off the ground, and then they hit it. What sport is that? And they use the paddles. They literally throw the ball to the ground and it bounces up, and they hit it that way.
I think you could do that with that too. I think I could be wrong, but field hockey's a lot like hockey itself.
I wonder. Hold on. Oop. I probably jump off here like 2:15. 2 hours and 15 minutes. I mean, maybe 2:15. 2 hours and 15 minutes or 2 hours and 30 minutes. One of the two. I thought everyone dipped out. What's up, Marlene? What's up, JK? Alchemos.
Again, those are more things to, like Coliseum, to entertain us, the masses. All these different sports that we watch or participate in. And then there's the other versions, TVs, movies, music. It's all to have the experience in the system.
Man. Let me look this up. Is it cricket? You ever see Harper? You ever see Highlight played?
Highlight. I was looking for that one. Is that the one where it's a curved stick and you throw a ball against the wall? Yeah, that's. I've been actually to one of those things in Florida, and you get to bet on it. Because I love squash games. I like a lot of badminton, ping pong, squash, racquetball. So when I saw that, I'm like, fuck, those guys are amazing in my interpretation.
It is cricket. I was right. I did the exact ball I got in my hand. I got it right here.
Oh, that's a bowler's ball then. My apologies, Chuck. That's a bowler's ball.
Yeah.
Okay, that explains the thread on it. Yes. Cricket's a good game to watch.
Yeah. I mean, they're so good at it. I used to go to the park and watch them. They have. They dug up the entire park one year. We have 2 softball fields that always been there. We had a little league field, but it looks like it overgrown. I don't know why they let it go to shit. Then we have tennis courts. Then up at the monument, people sled down in the wintertime. Yeah, just everything you can do at the park. You could even play cricket. But there's no basketball. What a fucking shame.
I had a buddy, Chuck Dave, he was from Barbados, and we grew up together, and he played both baseball and cricket. I remember he would try to teach me how to bowl, It's a totally different kind of pitch, opposed to like, baseball pitch, so. And my buddy Dave used to be able to throw a fastball 98 miles an hour. I said, Dave, fuck, you're throwing through bricks. Yeah, but bowling is a different kind of. It's quite the skill, especially when you can put curves on it. Like you can make the balls, once it hits the ground and it pivots.
Bing bong. Makes me want to play baseball again. I miss throwing the ball at 90 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I'd probably throw my shoulder. Not probably, I will throw my shoulder out.
You probably would, Chuck. You could throw a couple, but the fact that you can throw, the fact that you can throw 90, Chuck. I remember one time I went to one of those places where you throw it fast. The most I've ever got myself personally was 70. So you're chucking it, Chuck, at 90.
Well, that's when I was younger. When I first seen one of those guns, I was at a Norwich Navigators game. I think I was 13.
Yeah.
And I threw 60 or 65.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have no form. I was just throwing the ball. There really was no.
Those little leaguer World Series, those guys are chucking it too. 13, 14 years old, throwing 80, 85 miles an hour. I'm like, what the?
And I was joined the every year Fagan League would pick an all-star from a team, and they would vote in who's going to be on the Britain's traveling all-stars, meaning we would play other towns. And I was on the team previous, and every year we get our ass whooped because other towns and cities are well prepared, man. They take their youth to batting cages. They really prepare. They weren't doing. I got up to bat, and the ball was like boom. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I'm used to the slower. These are This was my first time playing on 90 feet bases, and we were getting smoked. Our coach didn't take us to batting cages to prepare us. Nothing. So I ended up walking out. I'll never forget. In the middle of the game, I said, "Fuck this, man." I shouldn't have walked out, but I was just so angry that we weren't even prepared. We were looking stupid. We were looking embarrassed, man.
Well, that's how you learn, right? You end up meeting a team same age as you, but they're just that much more better, and hopefully your team got better for it. It discourages.
It was my last year. The following year, I played for the Elks Club. I was on the Rangers for 3 years.
You ever watch those? The league that has, they're like the Harvard Globetrotter, but for baseball. They do all kinds of tricks. They're actually good. I like.
It's all right.
It's entertaining.
I see the commercials. The bananas.
Yep, that's what they're called. Yep, the bananas. They're a good baseball team. Oh yeah, like they're like the Globetrotters of basketball. Yeah, and they're entertaining.
Talent to do what they're doing.
Yep, and they're literally giving what fans want: entertainment. They want to see a guy do a backflip before he catches the ball, or a guy that's on stilts throwing a fastball. It's fun, Chuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Personally, I have my opinion about it, but
But you're a player too, Chuck. You've actually played the sport. A lot of people have never driven in a NASCAR or Formula One, or they've never played basketball or football. So they're more or less. What's that, Chuck?
I said they're missing out. They have no
Yeah.
idea how it feels to hit a home run around the base. It's the best feeling ever.
That's why most people settle for cheering for their team. They don't really know what it takes. You know, if they're going to figure out what it takes to hit a home run, they're going to have to figure out how to have a Tommy John's surgery injury repair. You know what I mean? It's
A lot of practice, man. A lot of practice.
Yeah.
I practiced by myself. I was just like Bauer. I seen the interview.
Yeah.
He didn't have. It's not that I didn't have friends, but I learned how to be alone.
Yeah.
I practiced. I would throw the ball at the wall and practice my ground, all types of shit. Whatever it took to get it done.
A lot of those baseball players, by the time they make Major League Baseball, they've already probably put in 8, 9, 10 years of baseball, whether minor leagues or pee-wee and maybe college baseball. And then and only then they have a chance to get drafted to play maybe 6, 7 years in Major League. You know,
Hopefully.
you get the hopefully, exactly, because the next year they're drafting another guy that's probably going to replace you. Unless you get lucky and you can get 10 years in. I think at that point you get like a pension from Major League Baseball if you play 10 years in the league. I think you get
I've seen some players on baseball cards, Dom. I would see there'd be 16 years in minors. I'd be like, damn.
Yeah, that's right. They make it. They make
But
it.
they love the game so much, or that's all they know. So it's like.
It's becoming more international now. They're merging a lot of the Japan and America's baseball. That's why you have quite a few more Japanese players here. The Dominicans had quite a few Dominican players play in the Major League Baseball. Even now, when you watch the World Series, I think it's called the World Series of Baseball, the one that they just recently had. Most of those players are from everywhere. Colombia, from the Dominicans, from Italy, even Italy. I'm like, Italy has a team? Where are they getting all these players from? They got like 2 citizenships? A lot of them do, actually. It was fun to watch, by the way. Chuck, I don't know, did you watch the World Series of Baseball?
Which one? The one that just passed?
Yeah, I think Venezuela.
Toronto and the Dodgers.
No, that's the World Series. My apologies.
Yeah. I wanted
World Baseball, I think it's called, isn't it?
I wanted Venezuela ended up winning. I wanted damn, what was it? The Dominican, I think, had a.
I think it was America. Wasn't America in the finals against Venezuela? Was it them? I know Venezuela beat Italy, and I think America.
I'll look. I know the U.S. was in the Final Four, Final 14.
Yeah, I don't know if they beat the Dominican, and if they did, they probably lost to Venezuela. Either way, one team lost to Venezuela.
You want to clear people out of here? We had I think it was 13 people in here. As soon as we started talking sports, they all left.
Okay, well, that's fine. That's fine.
That's the way to. You either ask for donations or talk sports, and people are gone.
Well, we both like talking about sports, Chuck. So it's other people. You know, you can get most of them back in if we start talking about the government.
Right.
But again, we like talking about it, Chuck. You know, I get it. People might think, it's controlled and all, which it is. I'm okay with it. But as long as I'm going to be here in this meat suit, I'm going to have fun while I'm here. Whether we're talking about baseball, movies, hopefully they'll have another series. Is it 3? I think with Silo. Hopefully they'll have a 3rd one.
What's going on here? I'm trying. All right, Japan. I'm trying to see who. All right. I'm trying to see who. Hold on. What the hell? No, what the fuck? What's going on here?
Again, Chuck, it's not everybody's tea. Whether, there's people that I like talk about, some of the stuff that we talk about, governments and maybe even how fiat currency is. And then we'll talk about wrestling or talk about the casino. That's my latest kick. And my buddy Dom likes to go to the casino. So there's fun people to meet at the casino, especially the regulars, Chuck. I don't know if you ever explored at the casino and talking to people that love to gamble lots of money. What time is it? Chuck, did you say you were going to clear out at 2 o'clock? Or 2 hours? My apologies, at 2 hours?
Sorry about that, Tom. I got my friend was talking to me.
No problem. I was just mentioning to you, Chuck.
What was that you said? Venezuela did play the U.S. in the final.
That's exactly.
3-2.
Yeah, that's true. I thought U.S. beat the Dominican. I thought so.
Yep, that's what I wanted to see was the Dominicans. They had a few Red Sox players on there, and then Venezuela had a couple too. They had Bello. No. Bello was on, I think, Dominican. I don't know, but either way, I like the baseball classic.
That's what it's called. Thanks, Chuck. Yeah, it is called the baseball classic.
But also, there's a lot of players, it's like they just throw these people on teams to fill them up. A lot of them ain't even Italian or this or that. It's crazy.
Yeah, they got dual citizens. It's interesting because I looked into the stats one time a while back, Chuck, because I like cards too. I find it interesting with baseball. A lot of the players, infielders and all that, they're around 5'9", 5'10", 5'11". Pitchers are usually taller for some reason. Like the Blue Jays, most of the players on the Blue Jays are 5'9", 5'10". Contrast to, like, say, hockey or basketball. Most players in basketball and hockey are 6'3", 6'4". Basketball 6'8", 6'9". Interesting. Hey, what do you think of the new strike zone? Not the strike zone, that you can actually, as a player, contest a ball in a strike. Probably a strike more than a ball. But have you seen that recently, Chuck?
All right. When you leave, someone sunk.
Robert won.
Hey, Chuck, I'm assuming that you're going to leave soon?
Yeah, I'm gonna jump off here in a minute myself. I was just doing some for my
No problem.
friend.
Well, anyway, Chuck, whatever you're doing today, enjoy yourself, boss. Have a good one. Or try to have a good one.
All right, you too, Dom. Thanks for coming up.
No problem, Chuck. Have a good one.
But I don't know. I'm gonna jump off here too. Thanks, Tommy, Dom, Tammy, Marlene, JK, Alchemos. Thanks again, Dom, man, for coming up. Wayne, Hurricane, Mark Basket, Renegade, Canna Dummy. Who else came in? Do. I swear I've seen a couple more people. Graham 9. And there's one other person of that which is. And there's still someone else I'm missing. Yep, Groove. And there's still someone else. I think I seen Eyes Wide Shut. D. Allen Warren. All right, peace to everyone. Maybe I'll go live later, but I got to do a few things, man. I appreciate you all. Have a great afternoon, day. I hope everyone has a great afternoon and evening. I should have gotten more into the Palantir and Axis communication. I wanted to show the map and stuff, but I'll do that in my next live stream. I got to change the title. But peace, everyone. Have a great evening, man. And I'm out.